Hey guys, this is Gentil Garçon once again with another repair video. Today we will be playing with the iPhone 7 Plus. As you can see on the screen, the iPhone 7 screen is all cracked. The phone is still functionable, just the screen is cracked. So we will use our Penelope screwdriver and remove the two Penelope screws located in the bottom of the iPhone 7 Plus. And we're gonna go ahead and use our heat gun and heat up the phone a little bit. The reason why we're doing this because the screen on the back frame of the phone is completely closed up with the adhesive around it. The reason why Apple made this is because the phone is water resistant, so they put a special type of adhesive between the screen and the back frame of the phone in order to make the phone water resistant. So we're gonna use our little thin blade to open the phone gently. So we're gonna gently go around the phone, but not too deep, because underneath the screen there are a flex cable connector. So we don't want to go, and we want to be careful with it. We don't want to damage any flex cable located on the right side of the screen, underneath the screen. So you want to keep on going around it. If you see that the adhesive is getting cold and it is hard to place the apparatus inside, you can go ahead and hit the phone again, and then the glue get loose again. So now we're gonna go ahead and try to pull the screen. The trick here is to pull the screen a little bit from the bottom, but at the same time pull the screen. You have to move the screen towards the bottom before lift it up like a book, as you can see. So now here is our ribbon cable on the right side that we're gonna go ahead and remove, and we're gonna use our Y-shaped screwdriver to remove those screws. Those screws are covering the battery connector, as far as also the screen connectors, and also those same screws are covering the camera flex cable connector as well. So we're gonna go ahead and remove our Y000 screws using a Y-shaped screwdriver. For the people that are not familiar with those with these special screwdrivers, I will post a link description below showing you the tools that you will be needed to in order to do this repair. You can buy your screws. You can buy your tools anywhere you want, on eBay and Amazon. That's where I usually get my tools. So I don't have any preference to where I'm buying them from. So I will post link of those tools in the descriptions, so you can easily find them and see exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a Y-shaped screwdriver. So we're gonna remove the metal plate covering the battery, as well as the metal plate covering the camera flex cable, camera connector. So we're gonna go in and use our proud tool and remove this connector gently. I usually pick my connector on a corner because I don't want to knock any resistor around it. So I like to pick it from the corner, as you can see in the video, and gently remove them without damage anything. And we're gonna try to remove our camera connector. I'm rotating the phone on the side and trying to have a good angle to pick and remove this camera connector. So we finally have it removed. So we're gonna gently pull the broken screen away from the phone, as well as the adhesive that is covering. So we're gonna go in and remove all the remaining component that we will need for our new screen. As far as the camera, as you can see, the camera has 5 screws that needs to be replaced, covering the earpiece and the camera as well. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those screws, and now we're installing our Phillips screwdriver, our Phillips screw bit. And we're gonna remove those screws holding in place our back panel for the earpiece and the camera and the front camera as well. So now we go in and removing our earpiece. Okay, now here you want to be very careful while doing this. I'm actually using tweezers because after doing so many repairs, I am meticulous with tweezers. I really know how to use them. But normally in my when I started to do phone repairs, I usually, in order to remove the front camera flex cable, I will heat it up a little bit, loosen up the adhesive, and pull out this flex cable with a power tool. But now I can easily pull this flex cable with tweezers because I'm so used to doing it. So, but it's not recommended that you use tweezers. You can, like I said, you can heat it up a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, and use your power tool and pull out this ribbon cable. So you want to be very gentle. You want to take your time because you don't want to rip. You don't want to break those cables. You don't want to break this cable. It's very fragile. If you break them, you just have to go and order another piece, another ribbon cable. So as you see, I'm taking my time and pulling that cable slowly. So I finally got it out. I have this little black band that I'm putting back on that mini circuitry, probably protecting the mini circuitry. As you can see, this is our front camera on it. So now we're gonna go ahead and remove the home button. The home button is locked down with 4 screws. 4 screws, and we're gonna use our Y screwdriver, Y-shaped screwdriver, to remove those Y000 screws. Now, so the home button, in order to remove the home button is not coming. It's not coming out from the back of the screen. It's actually coming out from the front of the screen, as you can see later down in a couple of seconds. So you want to gently remove the adhesive that is locking in place the home button. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those 6 screws that is holding in place the back plate on the screen. So those 6 screws around that's putting the back plate in place are as well Y000 screws. So as you see in the video, we removed them already. Okay, there's a little tape that is covering the back plate as well, and as far as the flex cable from the screen. We're gonna remove that black band as well and gently lift the black plate without damaging any ribbon cable. I know this phone is cracked. We shouldn't care much about the ribbon cable, but you want to get familiar with taking care of your parts, whether they are a good part or bad part. You want to get used to when you're doing this repair. You don't want to just break parts. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and test our new screen and make sure that it's fully functional. You can hear that noise clicking. That noise is telling you that the screen is actually in place. You don't want to, when you're installing this connector, you don't want to put too much pressure. You just want to hear that click is enough to tell you that the connector are actually in place. So we are testing our new screen. So in this repair, instead of installing a black screen that comes with the phone, we simply go ahead and replacing the screen with a white screen. So for our phone, our screen is gonna be white. The home button is gonna remain black. The reason why the home button is remaining black because the fingerprint function is still attached with the back plate on the screen, and by replacing the home button with another home button, you're losing the fingerprint functionality. So that's why we're keeping the black button. We keeping the original home button because we don't want to lose the fingerprint functionality of the phone. So we're going back. We go ahead and installing our back plate on the new screen, and we installing those 6 screws around that is holding the back plate, metal plate. Make sure everything is in place. Make sure you don't want to break any cables. Those cables, as you see on the left side of the screens, are the screen connector cables. So you want to gently insert them in the plate without damaging them. You have to be very meticulous while doing this. It's almost like you're doing a surgery. That's what it is. A phone surgery. So now we are inserting our original home button coming from the front of the screen, installing it in place. As you can see, it is black. We're not going to change it. put it in place. You hear that click? That means that the home button is in place. It's connected already. It clicked. So we're gonna go ahead and put the middle plate, the home button bracket. And we're gonna put our 4Y000 screws back on. Alright, testing our home button. He has a little play. We good. So we're gonna go ahead and put that little black band, black tape back in place where we originally remove it from the original screen. So we're gonna go ahead and install our flex cable for our camera. So we put in that little grill that is in front of the screen back, as far as the earpiece holder, plastic holder. Now we are installing our proximity sensor first, as far as our 4 golden connector on the bottom, as you can see. Pulling our 4 connector female golden connector back. We're installing our earpiece back on it, as far as putting our front facing camera in place in this plastic holder. Everything needs to be flush, everything needs to be naturally aligned, flush. And then we're going back and putting our camera bracket, front camera bracket, and earpiece, and we're replacing all the screws that goes with it. So as you can see on the very right corner, top corner of the camera, I have my screws organized. So every time removing a screw from a compartment, I'm pulling it on the magnetic plate the same way I remove them, so aligned. I'm organizing my screw, because sometimes those screws, they come in different shapes, so you don't want to misplace your screws when you're installing them. You want to pull it right back to the place where it belongs, in order to avoid damaging any electronic component. So we're putting back our battery metal plate, cover plate. We're putting back on this Y000 screws. Now we're putting our camera connector plate back in place. We're almost done with this repair. Thank you guys for your patience. We're putting our screen in place, and now we have our beautiful iPhone 7, multicolor iPhone 7 with a white screen and a home button. And actually, the home button match very well with the back of the phone. I like that color. It's very nice actually. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time with another repair video. I appreciate